Hello and welcome back everybody to our purple sector tier with the season finale, the last race of the season, where we have a one-shot qualification starting now. And let's pick up our championship leader, Mansell Bob. Where is he? It's not easy to catch the right car. Now let's follow Den, second in the championship. He's now into 5th place at the moment. At the left side you can see the live standings. Den with a good hairpin takes the lead over Neil or White Elliott, but they came back with a better exit, better top speed down the straight. And I see Mansell Bob only in 16th. 17, so that's not a good start of the lap from him. Let's see if we can get back up the order. Den still going pretty okay in 4th. Neil practiced with the faster Wednesday guys already, up in 1st, switching positions for top car vlogger. The teammate of Den now up into 2nd place. 3rd place, switching with White Elliott. A bit of a moment there. Neil falling down. It's going to be really close between these top 3. Neil picks up the 1st position again. No, it's White Elliott who takes pole, just in front of Den, the man we were following in 2nd place. Not Bob disqualified. Did he get a Q-ban maybe, which I missed? Let's check the driver's notice real quick. That will explain. No, I think he just went out on his own with a track limit. Let's quickly look down the order. White Elliott with the massive pole in the Haas. Den Neil, top car, Ralphie, Hashnagle, pretty cool from him. Brian, nice in 7th. Charlie down in 10th only. Then we have Apeldoorn, 14 Strikey, and yeah, you see Tenshide, Gavin Point and Tom and Mansell Bob all drove a track limit, so they have to start in the back with the sprint. Mansell Bob currently leading with 30 points over Den. That means that he needs to score 1 point today. No, maybe with the sprint together they can go a little bit more points. I think we do the normal sprint points awarded, so then he can pick up 8 points here if he wins. And Mansell Bob needs to go to the top 8 to get a point here, and that's then the difference they take into the main race following right after this 10-lap sprint. I think we're going to see everybody start on the medium tires for the 10 laps here. And we have lights out and away we go with White Elliott getting a good getaway, still in the lead for Den. Neil around the outside of top car vlogger. A little bit of contact there, but it's all good. Let's quickly go down the order a bit, and there we see Mufasa almost spinning, or was it Apeldoorn? I think it was Apeldoorn. Apeldoorn spun, he kept it on the track, so he's still following the pack in last place. Let's get back up to the front. White Elliott still holding on to the lead, and then defending more than attacking. Bit late on the brakes, but avoids the back of White Elliott here and tries to get a good exit to keep the charge. We see Charlie going in front of, and Jerry Morgan also passing Mufasa on the left hand side on the screen. In the standings, can't see everything on screen whilst I'm just following one car. Mufasa fighting with Lucky. I think it's a good fight to follow. See Tom in the Ferrari going a bit wide there. Mufasa wide, bumping into the rear. Lucky Egg taking another slight moment of contact. The two Alpines there, trying to battle it out. A real close fight in the middle, and Mufasa almost again hitting somebody in the rear. But it's all gonna go okay. Brian in the pits, probably picked up damage on the wing. And definitely in a sprint, that's not what you want to see. That usually means race over for now. Unless there, of course, is a safety car later on. On the background, we see a lot of cars side by side. Apeldoorn making up some places on the inside of JH7. Jake, usually a GT driver, reserving it, and then takes the lead in the first DRS zone. And White Elliott taking a lot of the sausage curb there. That's probably going to hurt the exit a little bit for the next straight. There's another DRS zone. It looks like Verstappen versus Hamilton 2021. Forcing around the outside, and that's not going to work. So then stays in front for now. And that's what he needs to do. He needs every point he can get. Oh, we see Neil making a bit of a move on White Elliott, but just backing out in time to not make contact. And then almost creates the gap of a second. And that's what he needs to do to break DRS. Going a bit wide there. Is that it looks like White Elliott can get just inside the second. He needs to use all the battery he has here to get the let's get some more info on the screen. Again, I forgot. So far, I think White Elliott is outside DRS. Yep, no rearing open. So that's that. Then safe in the background. Mansell Bob making up places on the inside of Gavin Poynton. He needs to get back inside the top 8 to minimize the damage he takes from his qualifying. I see Neil closing up on White Elliott, but he is not going to make it. Oh, he goes for a late dive, but White Elliott stays in front. Back to Bob and Mufasa. Apeldoorn. Bob is past Apeldoorn also. Charlie holding up the pack. Lucky and Mufasa hitting each other again there, I think. Apeldoorn in the back. It's Mansell Bob who takes advantage and slides in front of Mufasa. Mufasa wide again. I think it's the game glitch of the asphalt. We see at first thought somebody wing was flying off, but no. Oh, Lucky hitting Charlie there. Was too close on him. And Bob takes another place, picking out cars one by one, taking advantage of every mistake made in front of him. And he's already up into 11th place. And he needs to step on it. Then in the lead now, who is the only competitor who can take the title away from him today. With the 30 points lead, yes. With DRS should be an easy pass here on Charlie. Then he needs to control the next DRS zone. Oh, but Lucky and the camera switches to a rather big dive down the inside from Charlie. I think that was on Gavin Poynton. No, I switched to the wrong car. Lucky, and there you have a big chunk of wing off of Mansell Bob. So it was Charlie on Mansell Bob on the inside there, hitting him, but he keeps in front. Up into 10th, 4.5 seconds now to the next car, but with that wing off, it's going to be a difficult race for him from here on with the last few laps, even with the fast guys of Apeldoorn and the others in his rear. Hash and Shippo going wide. Has slots in front, even GRs now on his rear. And then I have yellows. It's somebody in the pits, somebody spun. I think it's Jake who spun out of the last corner, but keeps it on track and is able to continue. Also, you see, also pitted. I think with damage. Neil now taking second place off of White Elliott. So much happening on track. It's hard to keep up with the two packs that are battling together, and the championship leaders so far away from each other. That's of course what we're gonna follow the most today. Then still a comfortable lead outside of the DRS zone. That's what you want to see, so he cannot be attacked on the straights. That's all you need to do, manage that 1 second gap over Neil now at the moment. Another yellow flag. It's again Jake. No, I think it was Mufasa with a little bit of a moment now at the back of the other pack. Yep, Charlie in front of him, almost hitting Tom. But they are still continuing, so no safety car so far. Bob is now already up the rear of Strikey. He was 4.5 seconds down, so he closed that gap really quick. And I think Shippo and Strikey had a moment together in the last corner. That's why JR Morgan got in front of them, and Manson is now on their tail. Let's in the background you can see them all coming up on the main straight, so we're gonna switch down to the pack there. JR Morgan the front car, then Shippo, Strikey and the championship leader Manson Bob there. Are we gonna see a move here from Strikey around the outside? Shippo keeps it. Oh, a big jump of JR Morgan, and that's a return. Shippo couldn't avoid him anymore there, so JR Morgan is off. Got a big hit from Shippo, but he jumped out of the track and came back on the track. I don't think Shippo can take much of the blame for that, as it's JR Morgan who comes back on the track. A lot of stuff happening so far. Interesting race. No dull moment at up to this point. Then only just a second in front of Newell. That's going to be critical for him to hold on into the next two corners. Lucky picking up a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. Bob now already up into 8th place, so that means he is in the points. And Strikey in front of him with a 3-second time penalty, so he don't need to fight him, he just needs to follow him. Strikey, of course, one of the fastest guys in the Wednesday tier, battling for the championship there. The finale of that coming Wednesday in China. Bob goes down the inside of Strikey and takes 7th place off of him. But Strikey with a very good exit here, and then the DRS should be able to take that back. Bob no more battery also, and yep, Strikey back in front. I think Bob just needs to let him go, follow him. No need to race a fast guy when you can follow him up onto the rest. Neil is now within a second of them, then that's going to be interesting in the next few corners up onto the DRS line. It's now 1.1 again. Neil with a bit more of a battery. JR Morgan picks up a 3-second time penalty. We have only 3 laps to go. And then keeps Neil out of his DRS. Then White Elliott close on Neil. He's gonna have DRS, so Neil's gonna need to defend. Ralphie also pretty close behind. And then Strikey, you can see him in the background behind Hashnagel with Bob. So White Elliott stays behind. Then we now have Strikey. Is he gonna go for the move? Out of the slipstream, down the inside, and he takes 6th place. I think Hash thinks, yeah, let him go. He has a 3-second time penalty. I just need to stay within DRS, and I get the place back after the finish line. Shippo makes the move on FCT. We see down the left side, Tom overtakes Mufasa. Sorry guys, I can't catch that on stream. I can't look everywhere, but I can see it on the left side of the screen. FCT takes back the place of Shippo. Good fighting. Will Mufasa take back Tom? I think he has. You can see it in the standings there. Mansard Bob really close on Hash. And then Apeldoorn already in the background there with the Q-band today. Forgot to check in, but he's present. Harsh now just misses out on the DRS of Strikey. So I think Bob will go for the overtake here. Almost ready next to him at the exit. There he goes. Also not using too much of a battery. Bob drained his for the overtake. Let's see what happens in the background. Apeldoorn in a league of his own. Or race on his own, I could say better. He's not up front, of course. Tom still following Mufasa. Bit over the sausage curb. It's gonna hurt your exit. And I completely missed Neil overtaking Dandan. I looked up onto the minimap and I saw McLaren in the lead. I didn't think he was close enough, but there he is. The devil out of the box, and Neil takes first place. But was it a smart game by Dandan? Letting him go in front. Dandan with a full battery, so he should be able to take the lead back from Neil into the last zone. And now we're gonna see a Max Verstappen here. Is he gonna dive down the hairpin, or is he gonna stay behind? No, he's staying behind. Gets a tap from White Elliott there. Is not gonna hurt his exit. Neil's battery is we see White Elliott with a double overtake. Oh, it's just gonna be enough. Is it gonna go? Alright, we see the yellows. Where is it? I think it's a spin from Brian. Oh, and Neil hits the back of White Elliott there on the exit. And that means Dandan is safe for the sprint victory, I can imagine. Unfortunate for Neil at the exit, had a better exit, but was too close to White Elliott, tapped his rear and spun round himself. But he only fell back to 5th, so that's not too bad. Tom and Mufasa still battling it out for 14th place. And Dandan takes the sprint victory here out of the final corner and get full points awarded. White Elliott is 2nd, Ralphie 3rd, Top Car is 4th. Neil, unfortunate last lap for him, 5th, Strikey 6th, but he's gonna fall back behind. Mansard Bob is 6th. So good damage control from him here, all the way from I think it was 16th place, 16th up to 6th, 10 places. Good job. So he's right in the game for the main race. Strikey, Hash, Apeldoorn, FCT, Gavin Point and Mufasa, Shippo, JR Morgan, Tom, Lucky, 16, Charlie, 17, Jake, 18th, LLCC, and Brian. Ooh, big slide from LLCC here. Ooh, Brian crashed in the last lap, but he's dead last anyway. That's not a smart move from FCT. And Mansard Bob already leaving, but we still need to of course we're gonna go back to the lobby for a start grid reset as the new format, old sprint format. So that's not the smartest move of them to do. And I hope took notes, because Bob was in 6th. And then here you have it. Then White Elliot, Ralphie, Topkov, O'Neill. Then should be Mansell Bob in 6th. Hashnagle, Apeldoorn, Gavin Poynton. I think FCT should be somewhere in there. Mufasa, Shippo, Morgan, Tommy, Luck, EEC, Charlie Harris, Jake, LCC, Brian. And we're gonna go back to the lobby. I'm gonna wait for a new invite. And in the meantime, I'm gonna quickly do some maths for the championship live standings. And I will be back with you in a moment when the new lobby is fired up. So, hello from Tamas Ratjani. Is it good luck to everyone in the chat? Let's get the new invite up and back into the lobby. I don't think the game is working with me here. I need to leave. So there we have it, the new lobby. We're gonna wait for everybody to join in to the start grid to get set. I'm gonna do some quick maths for the live standings so I can keep you updated during the main race. So I will get quiet for a moment and I will get back to you when the new race gets underway. See you in a moment. So here we go, guys. Welcome back. Everybody's picking hopefully their setups again, don't forget that. And then the race strategy, the tires and the pit strategy and the fuel load, and then we're on the way for the main race. And we have a new live standing, of course, after the sprint, and Bob is still leading, of course. He now has a 25-point lead over Den. So that means Den needs to score a minimum of 26 points in this race, with Master Bob scoring none. So that means Master Bob has to DNF or finish 20th, and then has a chance if Bob gets minimum of 14th place, then he is champion no matter what. And there we have the lights on again, off, and away we go. And it's now Den with a good start. No, White Elliot is on his inside, I think, but he backs out. Den taking a wide line, not taking any risk to get taken out. I see a bit of cars going wide at the end, in the top, in the rear of the field there. I didn't came out of my words. I see a big gap forming after Strikey, I think it is already. So, but then holding the lead. No, it's Apeldoorn. Was already a bit of where's Bob? Bob is still in 6th, Den still in 1st. The pack on the first straight up until the first hard braking point. See a bit of a wobble, I think it was from Ralphie there. Top car Flogger on his inside. Bob pushed wide by Neil, and then Strikey also gets through. Strikey also overtaking Neil now in the next straight. Bob fell down to 7th. But I think he, of all people, knows he needs to get just up to 14 to finish the race, then he will be champion. So he's not taking any risk this race, of course. With that knowledge, I can imagine. You never know what's going to happen. It's still a long way to go, 28 laps to be precise, and we all have seen what happened in 2021 with that late safety car here and the absurd finish to the season with even a last lap switch for the championship. So everything is possible. Ralphie dived the inside of Top Car, but he went too deep, so Top Car cut back, and now we have Strikey on the inside. No, Ralphie also with Ralphie is now locked in between the two cars, nowhere to go. Strikey on the hard tires. Oh, that's an interesting thing to watch. Who started on which tire? Let's get some more info on the screen again. Strikey on the outside of Top Car Flogger here on the harder tire. Does he make it stick? No. There was a brave move on the harder compound around the outside, but Top Car holds on. And Bob is still in 7th. Behind Neil there in the back of the screen. Looked like he was going for an overtake on the outside, but that's not a place you usually see overtake. Then almost, no, he broke DRS again on White Elliot. White Elliot is coming back at him now. It's going to be close. I think he's just going to miss out on the DRS. I think there's the white line, the DRS detection point in front of the hairpin. Strikey overtook Top Car into the hairpin. And then he overtook in the hairpin, and then he's got the DRS because the DRS detection point is in front of the hairpin. So that's great stuff by Strikey. On the harder tires, already up to 3rd place. Bob is having a hard time Apeldoorn also on the hard tires on his rear wing. Apeldoorn going a bit wide, and FCT just misses him into the hairpin. See some position changes. Brian with a good start, 5 places up. Charlie also 5 places up. That's an important, really important job he has to do here, because whilst the driver, when we see Bob into the first corner, got a bit distracted there watching this fight. As I was saying, we got, of course, as we see Bob diving down the inside of New again. My talk has to wait a bit. It's a big fight going on there. Also, these two guys are battling for the Constructor Championship, so it's up to Neil. And Neil dives now on the inside of Ralphie. Is he gonna make it stick? Yes. He just doesn't touch him. They gave each other a good room to breathe, and now Manson Bob is all over the back of Neil again. Neil with a late move, defending the inside line. I think he was just okay there. And there you have it. He's attacking Ralphie, but then... And we have a yellow flag. It's a Ferrari out, and it's a safety car. Tom crashed at the end of the straight. That's unfortunate. Maybe he had contact with somebody, but I will never know at this point, because we don't have replays. So I need to watch it live, or I don't know what's happened. Maybe I can catch something up chat. Now I have some time to get up until my talk. I see a lot of guys in the pit. They were all going for the hard tires, I suppose. And Dan and Mansour Bob are staying out. So Mansour Bob just following Dan. He knows he needs to finish close. I think good call by Ralphie, Neil and Hash and Gavin here, and Jake and LLCC and JR Morgan to pit for the hard tires. It's a long way to go, but you should be able to make it until the end now, from now on with the hard tires. As I was trying to explain, we have the championship fight for the driver standings between Manson Bob and Dan, which the current lead is for Manson Bob with a 25-point advantage. So that means he just needs to finish 14th in our point system to get the title here today. And Dan needs to finish, I think it's 3rd or higher to even stand a chance. No, he needs to finish 1st or 2nd. Dan can go lower than 2nd place, and then he needs Bob to only finish 19th or even retire. So Bob holds all the cards in the drivers fight, but then we also have the constructors fight, and that's going between McLaren and Aston Martin. Unfortunately, Kick Sauber just too far behind, 70 points, so they're not going to be able to take the championship here. And the current lead is for Aston Martin. They're also Mansour Bob and Ralphie together have a 19-point lead over McLaren. McLaren with Charlie and Neil. Neil is following Ralphie's strategy, and Charlie is following Bob here, but Charlie already on the hard tires, so he should be having an advantage later on in the race. Yeah, but both McLaren guys need 19 points over Aston Martin to get that championship. Otherwise it will be Mansour Bob for Aston Martin with the driver's title and the constructor's title. We are I think 1 lap away from starting this race again, when Brian closes up to the pack around about now, and then we will see safety car in this lap and we'll go racing again. And you see it, everybody up until Lucky stayed out, and behind them everybody switched for new hard tires behind the safety car, so they have their stop out of the way and can finish the race from here on. And that's a huge advantage when there isn't any more safety cars out on track today. Unfortunately, we lost Tom already, and that caused the safety car his crash. Safety car in this lap, as I said. So then now the new safety car, he leads the pace, and he's going really slow, waiting for the safety car to enter the pits again, and then we will go racing. Let's get up to his car. We still see the safety car on track. You see the yellow dot on our minimap on the right side bottom of our screen. He's now going in, and then is away. And White Elliott is pretty close, half a second away, following Den. And behind them everybody did about the same. We see there Charlie on the back of Mufasa. Is he going to make a move into the hairpin? He's really close. He needs the points. In the Championship 5, Mufasa with a bit of a defensive line. It's enough to cause Charlie to doubt and overtake. And we saw the wing end plate of Mufasa's front wing. He's gone right inside there, you can see it. Missing a bit. Ooh, locked a bit of the brakes into the heavy braking zone after the straight. We know he's driving without ABS, so that's is difficult and a pain in the ass. Ralphie already passed Neil, and already now going for the move on Mufasa. No, he doesn't make it stick. Lucky Egg tries to go around his outside. Ooh, Mufasa a bit wide there, allowing Ralphie to go through maybe, but the next corner is to the right, and Mufasa still on the inside, side by side with Ralphie. Ralphie, brave stuff, lets it stay around the outside and takes the position and puts 2 cars between him and Neil. That's crucial for their constructor battle. Let's get back up to the front before I miss another overtake for the lead there, as I did in the sprint. Watching the guys battle further down the field. Ooh, White Elliott, yeah, we saw him cut the track there, and we saw him cut it again, so he's picked up a 3-second time penalty. That's really early in this race, with still 21 laps to go. That's difficult. Is Elliott gonna make the move for the lead here? Yes, he does. The inside. Then slots in behind, give him a little off tap on the rear, and then with DRS follows White Elliott. But we know Dan is smart, and you can see it here. Puts the ERS to none, saving the battery, knowing it's a long race. A lot of games between him and Manson Bob already up into 4th. Now attacking Top Car Vlogger here, who desperately wants a knee. Ooh, you can see a little tap there. Manson Bob almost spinning on the inside of Top Car Vlogger, but keeps it on the track. And that almost caused Bob a spin. And that's what he definitely not going to use. So he needs to be very careful around the teammate of Dan. Almost goes wide, but just keeps it between the lines, I guess. Apeldoorn on his tail. Dan really close to White Elliott. Is he going to make a move down the hairpin? Is Flores Strikey going to do it? Is he going to mingle in a championship battle? White Elliott keeps in front there. Mansell Bob now overtakes Top Car Flogger for 4th place. Shippo and Charlie are battling side by side. And we have a yellows. Who was it off there? Is it Apeldoorn? Apeldoorn with his moment. A spin, but he continues. I see no damage on his car. Let's get back up to the front. Then and White Elliott next to each other. But I think White Elliott is in favor here. Oh, and Flores throws it down the inside of Den there. Den can keep it on the next part of the track. Difficult part to go side by side. Then choose to live another day. And now we have Den and Bob in 3rd and 4th. But of course, like I said earlier, Bob only needs to finish 14th, so no need for him. He just can sit there in 4th place and pick up the title. Strikey with the move down the inside. And even on the hard tires, taking the lead already in this race. Of course, he's one of the faster Wednesday guys. Fighting for the title there on Wednesday against Figo. That's a really tight battle. So we have a yellow flag. Spin of Brian. Is he gonna be able to continue? Yes, he is. Glad to see that. No safety car at this point. Welcome to the front. I was saying, if you have some free time Wednesday night, tune into the stream and watch the championship fight there between this guy Strikey and his rival in the McLaren. Then is Figo. But now we're going to go back to the championship fight here with Den in 3rd, Bob in 4th. Bob picks up the time penalty. 3 seconds for corner cutting. That's a bit of good news for Den, but it's still a long way to go. Needs a lot more than only 3 seconds on Bob to get some advantage, to get the points he needs for the championship. Ralphie and Neil overtaking both Charlie Harris, and that means even with the pit stop made, already in front of Charlie now. They're doing a really good job. So Ralphie and Neil are now, I think, in the net lead of this race, because they stopped already and the other guys are having to stop still. And that's not good news for Den, because Den needs to finish 2nd, otherwise Bob is champion no matter what. So Den needs a 2nd place here. And at the moment, Strikey is in front of him. We see Top Car diving into the pits. For the first one to stop. Oh, a bit of an odd line from White Elliott there. Then diving on his inside for the hairpin. No. He waits for the DRS. Is it going to be enough? With also Bob on his tail. No, we see him saving battery again. White Elliott also using, is very smart to defend here. Disallowing overtake from Den. Strikey slowly disappearing at the front. 1.6 seconds up on White Elliott at the moment. Just in front of Den and Mansell Bob. But Neil is only 3 seconds behind the pack, and he already stopped, as did Ralphie. So they're in a really good spot, and I think at the moment they are fighting for the win here. But of course, still a long race to go. Everything can happen. Another safety car, and that's it. We see Den and Bob in. Bob just following Den. He knows that's who he needs to follow. And now let's see where Top Car Vlogger is. Already up on the straight. Bob and Den through the tunnel. I think they make it. They stay in front of Top Car Vlogger easily, and then creates a gap with the faster pit stop, and he's now outside of DRS range, and he's gonna go for an overtake on Brian here, put some distance between the two of them, and that's gonna mean I think we're gonna see White Elliott at the end of this lap maybe to cover the undercut. Striker will continue. He's on the hard tires, and White Elliott, yep, goes in. Maybe picks up at. Oh, that's really early. Not taking any risks. Cost a lot of time. There we have it. New and Ralphie, second and third. Only Strikey to pit, and then they are in the lead of the race. Apeldoorn just behind Chippo, or just in front of Chippo. Oh, sorry, it's Jake. And then and Mansell Bob in front of White Elliott easily. Just goes in front of Brian. Did these guys stop already? Jake did. Chippo did not yet. Jake for the overtake on the inside. And he makes the move up into 6th. Can Chippo get back at him? With DRS? No, he's not going for it. So, Neil in front of Ralphie. Ralphie with a 3-second time penalty picked up. Is it 3 seconds? Let me check. Yep, it's 3 seconds. And I thought Ralphie was in front of Neil before, so he went wide somewhere, and he lost the place to Neil. But I don't know for sure. Chippo in the pit, losing out positions on track. So. Mansell Bob with the fastest lap of the race. Now really on the rear wing of Den. They are in traffic with the two Williams in front of them. LCC and Lucky Egg. What's gonna happen here? Den goes for the inside there. LCC staying out of the way in this championship battle, but picking up a DRS on Lucky. We got 4 cars there. What's Lucky gonna do here? He also doesn't intervene in this championship fight, giving the guy space. Oh, and a slight tap between Den and Bob. A little wheel banging. Bob showing real championship like aspiration, because he wanna go for the overtake on Den and finish even in front of him this race. Looks like it. He's not only gonna stay behind and win a championship on that thought maybe about going for the outside there. Both around the outside of J.R. Morgan. Probably picking up another track limit, but he follows then through. Both overtook the Mercedes there. Ralphie is back again in front of Neil. But yeah, with that 3-second penalty, Neil just has to follow him. And there are only 3.8 seconds of the lead, so Strikey is going to fall all the way down behind, I think, Dan and Bob. And how far are they away from the leader? 18 seconds. Wrong button. Is Bob going to follow through on Jake? Is he going to make it? Jake going for the inside of Dan. That looks dangerous. Jake backing out there. Sensible thing to do, not his fight. Not intervening. Aschnagel. Ooh, that's gonna be brave from Dan. But he makes it stick. And then Bob touches Aschnagel. And there you have the that's not what Bob wants to see. Trying to follow Dan through. Good job on the rejoin there. That's all safe. Ouch. Yeah, there you have it. That's the mistake Dan wants to see. And now all the championship fight is again in the race. Bob in 15th. 14th. That's what he needs to do. He just needs to finish 14th. But yeah, he needs to finish. And he almost threw it away there with that tap on Aschnagel. He would have a bit of a heart attack there. But I don't think Aschnagel did anything wrong there. It was just Bob who would try to dive on his inside, hits him on the rear wheel, and spins himself round. Oh, a bit of a move there for Elliott on the braking point. Ash and Jake fighting for 6th. So, I think, yep, that's why I switched to the front. Jake Strikey, is that? Oh, just in time under the 80 kilometers. It was really close to pick up a speed penalty. He's gonna fall all the way back behind Dan, I think. Behind even Hash, White Elliott. Oh, and he's changing his front wing, so he picked up damage somewhere. So he's gonna fall a long way back. But of course, he then is on newer tires. Charlie in the background followed him in. So now Neil and Ralphie fighting for the win, as I said, but they pitted on lap 4, so they have 14 lap all tires. Then with newer tires, 12 seconds of the lead with 12 laps to go. He needs a second the lap, and maybe he can benefit from some fighting between these two and close even faster in. But with the DRS you can see the straight line speed. He loses time at the 2 straights. That's not helping his cause. Strikey fell back to P10 behind LCC there. Manson Bob already back up into 11th with the move on FCT. Both already up through on LCC. FCT follows through in the background of also. Brian and Charlie next to each other. Who's gonna win that fight? Brian for now is diving into the pits, so that's Charlie getting free of him. Apeldoorn also in his rear. Longer in, maybe he's gonna watch the show for himself, because I doesn't see him racing. Let's see what's happening between Neil and Ralphie. Neil just holds on, second DRS. Both not using too much of their batteries. just letting the DRS do the work. Then closed up the second. He's now 11 seconds away instead of 12. So he will just catch these guys at this rate on the last lap. He just needs only to catch them. He also needs to pass them. He will pass Ralphie maybe on the time penalty if he can stay. Benzenbob making up another place on Jake again, and he's back on the tail of Hashnagel, who he just hit it and spun out. Totally his own doing. He's just gonna need to be patient this time. And there Hash goes wide and Bob goes through. Strikey with the fastest lap. No surprise on the medium tires. Fresh medium tires. Up until 6th. Ralphie New. There's the overtake from Ralphie on the straight. Is Neil gonna have a good exit? Is he gonna have a go at him on the next DRS zone? Ralph using a bit of a battery to defend, and he makes it. Stick for now. Strikey going around the outside of Top Car Vlogger with the fresh medium tires. Makes the overtake. And we have a yellow. It's an Alpine, but he goes on the way again. That's good news for Ralphie and Neil. Strikey with another fastest lap. Again, no surprise there. Last one pitted, new medium tires, so let's see Neil. Charging back at Ralphie here. Strikey going past White Elliott. In front of the hairpin again. And Neil makes the overtake on Ralphie, and they switch for the lead again. The usual DRS games we see playing out here. Charlie and Apeldoorn all passing Jake. Charlie and Apeldoorn are side by side. Again a yellow, again an Alpine. Is it Gavin? I see him moving again. So still no safety car. Charlie around the outside of FCT, late on the brakes, making it stick. With those fresher medium tires. Brave stuff. Ralphie needs to step on it. He almost lost DRS there. But got to get back down to only half a second from 9/10. Den is already up. Wow. He already made up almost 6 seconds in only a few laps time. So, and we have another yellow. It's another Alpine, but he goes on the way again. As I was saying, already 6 seconds he made up. And there are still 7.5 laps to go, so he's on course to catch these guys. But Mansell Bob now in 7th place. That's enough for the championship. He needs to only finish 14th to get the title. Then already closed up another 2 seconds. Unbelievable the pace on this guy at the moment. Yes, his sights set on the championship and he needs to finish at least second to have a chance. And then he needs something happening with Mansell Bob. Mansell Bob now again on the tail of his teammate. And we already saw these two guys close to each other at the beginning of the race. Maybe a bit too close for comfort in the eyes of Mansell Bob. Oh, bit of a wobble, bad exit on top car. Overtake on Mansell Bob. DRS going around the outside and easy pass. That's what he wants to see. And up into 6th. And don't rule out Strikey here. He's also only about 7 seconds away. And he has 6 more laps to go. Charlie picks up a 3-second penalty. It looks like Aston Martin is also going to take the constructor title here. They're already 19 points in the lead, so you just have to finish a bit behind McLaren, but at the moment both Aston Martins are driving in front of both McLarens, so that's easily going to be enough for a title. And I think these two and Haas are the only ones in DRS range at the moment. Everybody else has a gap of over a second. Shippo now also diving in the second range. Welcome in the stream, guys. You should be able to see a link in the description also. You can vote on driver of the day there. I'm gonna try to do it more often, putting the link in there already, so also our viewers can vote. And we have a yellow flag, and no, it's underway again. I think it was Gavin just moving out of the way for as a back marker, not to cause any trouble. Difficult race for him again. Then almost in DRS range of Ralphie. He's flying at the moment. He was 12 and a half seconds behind a few laps ago, like 6 laps ago. So he made up 2 seconds a lap on the leaders. Of course, the leaders, the tires really old, 20 laps old. They pitted at the safety car, so they're probably struggling a little bit for grip. Whilst then is only 12 laps old. They should be okay for now. Bob still going in 6th. We have a bit of a train forming up here with JR, Mufasa, Lucky and Shippo. Lucky thought about going for a double move, but did a sensible thing and backed out. Picked up a place from JR still, and Mufasa did the same, still driving without that front wing. Mufasa, I can see the right hand side. Ralphie is really close on you again, out of the blue. There he's gonna go, down the inside, and also then now with DRS, he's mixing in this fight. And Ralphie needs to get a bit of a lucky situation here, where maybe New and then almost collide, and he gets away over the 3 seconds he needs. And then needs He's net second at this moment, but then he needs Bob to fall all the way down to 19th or DNF. And Bob should know that, so I don't see that happening. Neil with a bit of a wide turn there. You see his delta going up from Ralphie a bit. Ralphie concentrates, gets away 2/10 in the next two corners. He broke DRS. Then I was gonna say no patient game here, but he did. Looked like he was going for an overtake there for a second, but he waited for the DRS here. Gavin Point in another 3 seconds. Difficult race for him. As I said earlier, a lot of spins, a lot of penalties. Another yellow. Another front wing off, but he still continues. No safety car. Oh, Brian with a big slide in a moment there. Quickly up into the front. Then caught Neil on the DRS straight. And he's now right on the tail of Ralphie, and you see also Strikey there in the background now up on this pack, and he's even on the medium tires. Oh, Ralphie with a really wide exit there, but that's a difficult part to get your car through on somebody. Oh, Strikey with the late dive into the last corner on Neil, but makes it stick. Brave stuff. Then goes for the overtake into turn one. Yeah, then he needs a tighter line. Ralphie doesn't take that into account and hits him in the rear, but it's all good. But now Ralphie has the DRS on Den. What's Den gonna do? Is he gonna defend really hard? Is he gonna let him go? He's gonna let him go. No, it's Ralphie who slots back in behind, and then Strikey takes advantage, and that means Den can get away. Is this the moment Den needs for the win? No, it's Strikey with the DRS coming back at him. That's unfortunate for Den. Ralphie thought of saving his overtake for the last lap, but that cost him the place on Strikey. Neil still following close. White Elliott in 5th. Bob in 6th. He's safe 3 seconds of top car, so he will finish there and then he will be champion. Charlie closing in on top car Vlogger, getting some extra points for McLaren, but also that's not going to be enough, and that means Aston Martin is going to take the constructor title as well. Lucky is really close on Jake. Well, they're not in a part of a track they can usually overtake. Let's get back up to the front. Last lap. Is Strikey going to be able to make the move here? Den has a lot more battery. Ooh, but looked like a track limit, or he was just on a wide line. Den makes it through the first DRS zone. Drag race down the last straight. Ooh, the battery of Den is going to giving out. Strike is going to roll around the outside. Is he going to make it stick? Wow. Den just keeps it in front. Closes the door here on Strikey, but we've already seen Strikey make another move, and he's stepping Den there on the inside. Well, he lives. Strikey picks up a 3-second penalty, and I see Neil. He fell all the way back. Something happened there. He had a moment. Den wins in front of Strikey. Ralphie in third for White Elliott, but they both going to lose out the place to Neil, so he's going to slot him back. And then Mansell Bob finishing sixth, and he is our purple sector tier champion. And with the first few races, it looked like he was the only one who could even win this championship. Nobody came close to win, but then out of nowhere from I think it was like race 6, then found something and brought a hell of a fight to Mansell Bob, but he misses out, and it's Mansell Bob who takes the title of our 6th Monday tier season. And what a season it was. And also a big congratulations to Ralphie, the teammate of Mansell Bob, who collects enough points to make it a double championship in the Aston Martin team, with a good 4th place on him. Lucky egg. Didn't drive the Mercedes, he drove the Williams. That's odd. Then the winner of the last race, he did what he had to do to get his chance on the title for the championship. He needed to win or come second, but then yeah, he also needed Bob to finish much lower than he did today. So then the winner today, but Mansell Bob, the big man, the championship is for him. Strikey with the fastest lap and 2nd place. Neil in 3rd, Ralphie 4th, White Elliott, Top Car, Mansell Bob, Appledorn, Tenside, Hash, Shippo, Lucky, Mufasa, Jake, Morgan, Brian, LLCC. Charlie fell down to 18th. Gavin Poynton and Tom did not finish today. So guys, that was our purple sector tier on the Monday. Mansell Bob, congratulations, and together with Ralphie also on the constructors title. We'll be back with you coming Wednesday when our cooking tier is gonna do the last race, and also there we have a really tight championship battle, so hopefully you have some time to join in the stream there and give some support to the guys racing on Wednesday. For now, I wish you all the best, and we'll see you, I think, in a few weeks' time when the new season gets underway. But usually that takes up a week or 3 with a bit of a break, preparation, and then we'll be back with you guys with, of course, a new name that the champions are going to choose. Thanks for watching again, and hopefully see you on Wednesday.